So I'm from Boston. I took a job at a bank for $17,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I literally loved doing what I did. And I really learned from them. So from 1988 all the way until 1996, I worked in different positions. From the day I got in the business, I never looked back. It's the only career I've ever had. After 38 years, I still love it. I was still doing a lot of business, and I worked for that same company until the crash happened in 2007.
Yeah.
Then you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Mindset means a lot. So never giving up, and keep going and keep on your plan.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Brighter Side Podcast. I am very excited for today's guest, Lauren Maxwell. She is a mortgage, broker, lender? What's the proper?
Mortgage banker. I make money move, Cory.
She makes money move. We've been trying to get this podcast scheduled. Lauren's busy. She's my first 8:30 a.m. She's just saying she's usually at work at like 7, and she works really hard, which is why I'm excited to have her on the show today to learn from her and also just kind of share her story about building business and her entrepreneurship and just learning all the things and try to apply it to my life at some point. So, welcome to the show, Lauren. How do you feel today? What's going on? How's your Friday?
Well, thanks for having me. Number one, love being out somewhere early Friday morning, and I love the fact that we have people in common, like our kids go to school together. So
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, she got here. I sent her the wrong directions. I sent her the wrong phone number. It was a bad start, but hey, we got it. We made it work, and at least it's Friday and the weekend's here. So, so you have been in Naples for how long now?
37 years.
37. So you're like an original, like OG. You've seen it all.
I've seen a lot. There were about 3 streets when I first came to Naples.
Yeah. So where did you come from originally?
So I'm from Boston. And I came here when I was 21 years old, and our big hangout was Vanderbilt Beach before all the condos went out there. We had a chicky bar there, and it was pretty incredible.
Now I don't like going to Vanderbilt Beach because it's so touristy. For me, as a local, I like to go more like downtown, 33rd, something like that, and kind of if I can get parking, that's my thing. Vanderbilt Beach always feels like, it just feels like it's always hard to park. I mean, not this time of year, but during season, it's kind of crazy, but. We moved here 4 years ago, and so Naples is like, we love it, but we're like, it feels like home finally. We got our own house, and we're not renting, and our kids go to school here, and they love it, and now they're like, oh, sometimes you ask them, like, you wish you would have moved, or you wish you would have stayed back, because we're from Kansas City, and would you rather stayed in Kansas City? And they're like, no. So they officially, like, it's home to them, so hopefully they'll stick around and whatnot. But I wanted to just kind of ask you about your life, really. I mean, I've, studied you and watched you from a while, and you've built an incredible business, and from my perspective, a cool life, and so I just, as an entrepreneur myself, I want to learn from you and just share, cool stories about business, because I think the more people that share business, I'm a big fan of starting your own business, obviously, and I want people to, see it's not always easy, but it's also like very rewarding. And so your company is Maxwell Mortgage Team, powered by CrossCountry Mortgage. So like, how did that come about? You moved here, you're 21, you're single at that time. I mean, you didn't come down with family?
No, I came with a boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
From Boston, and I loved it. I've been in the mortgage business since 1987.
Okay.
So from the day I got out of college, I got my associate's degree, so I graduated college at 19. And then I started the mortgage business, didn't even know what a mortgage was.
Yeah.
I was in sales, and I fell in love with it. So when I moved here a year and a half later, I got back into the mortgage business, but instead of being in sales, I wanted to learn the mortgage business from start to finish.
Yeah.
I took a job at a bank for $17,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I literally loved doing what I did, and I really learned from them. So from 1988 all the way until 1996, I worked in different positions, from processing to underwriting to ops manager to closing. There was nothing I didn't do. I mean, I'll still answer the phones.
Yeah.
And so people think sometimes, like, if they'll see me now, like, I wasn't born like this.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't always like this.
Yeah.
I built a business, but it didn't happen overnight. You remember, I've been in the business since May of '87, and it wasn't until February of '96 when I went into full retail, which is what I do now, where I had my own branch.
Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day, and I try to share this with people because kids nowadays, even when they interview with me, they want to know how much money they're going to make.
Yeah.
They want to get a BMW or a Mercedes right off the bat. There's nothing in between that they want. And that, to me, is the difference between my generation and this generation. We have to go back to the basics.
I know.
And teach the kids what to be grateful for, and just baby steps, so that
Yeah.
everything you do earn, you can appreciate.
Sure.
Instead of your parents buying you a Mercedes or a BMW, right off the bat. And if you do, make sure your kids appreciate it and they know what they have to do to keep earning it or to keep it.
Yeah.
So
I've heard you talk, which I think is a really cool, with, like your inheritance or whatever your kids get or something. I think I've seen you on another podcast or something. You talked about like you have it set up to where your kids, like they still have to, like, I think it was like a certain age, and they had to have it, like you had criteria, which is like exactly what you said. You got to keep working. You can't just, like, nothing's just handed to you in life without like building a life. I don't know if I'm saying it exactly, but I really thought it was very like, I was like, that seems like the right way to do it.
So I have children who are in their 30s.
Okay.
I have 3 grandchildren and 1 more on the way. And then I also had a late child who I had at 42. So I have a junior in high school.
Yeah, sure.
So my daughter now, yes, she does have a nicer car. However, she's an all A student. She plays piano. She plays volleyball. She doesn't give us any grief. Like, I can trust her completely.
Sure.
As where my older kids said, oh my gosh, Mom, you give, Montana. So I go, well, first of all, I love you guys, but you were not as amazing as she was. And you got, at that point, it's not that you ever suffered, but yeah, you're right. One of you, got a used Jeep. The other one got a $200 a month lease car at the time. First of all, I was much younger, right? You gain more success, but also they were great kids, but, they didn't necessarily do all the things that somebody does. So I do reward in things that people do. However, my youngest, who maybe has a nicer car, studies her butt off, and she knows she's going to be going to a school, and she's going to be a vet. She has her life plan, and she's not spoiled. So she's not somebody who always says, oh, Mom, I want that purse, or I need this, or I need that. Never has she once said that, ever. I mean, she's super happy with her little Shein at $5.99 for her top. So none of my children are spoiled. At 23, I put them through college. I helped them with their first house, and they don't have to pay for their college. And then you're on your own. I mean, if your kids keep needing you and needing you and needing you, that means my job as a parent, I have failed, because I feel that your job in life is to raise independent children so that they don't need you. I could die tomorrow, Cory, and I will totally rest in peace knowing that my kids will miss me, and they'll have super funny stories about Lauren jokes and mom jokes, jokes, but they're gonna be fine.
If you're
and
not
I
getting
feel
joked about
good.
you doing something wrong, like, you got to be like, I feel like that with my kids.
Yeah,
they're
so
always making fun of me, but that's just part of it. But no, I think that's I think I worry about that even as like having kids is like, you start building a business, and like, I mean, I started doing Christmas lights 20 years ago for basically free, learn myself. It's like you start to see the fruits of your labor, but it's like, no, man, I was like, this is 20 years of like hard knocks and learning, putting lights on the wrong houses and all kinds of crazy stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah. But as far as the kids go, to anybody, when you become successful, if I did pass, I do have it in my will that, number one, my kids don't get any principal until they're 50, but they still have to keep a 36-hour-a-week job.
That's so cool.
Okay?
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, because, I mean, it solves kind of like a lot of things you worry about, like, I work hard, and then somebody just, you don't have to do nothing. There's no purpose in life, which is like what you and I both have as like entrepreneurs. Like, man, there's something to get you out of bed every day. It's like goals and accomplishing things, helping people, all the things. And if it's just like easy for you, like even like winning this $1.7 billion Powerball that's going on right now, I'm like, I never played the Powerball. I'm like, what do I got to lose? I mean, why not? Right?
I would still work, just so you all know.
I would too.
Still
and
work.
Then it's like, I was like, I just wouldn't feel, I would. Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of it's like, I think that there's something about just getting up and going to work, putting your boots on,
Being accountable and having a purpose in life is very important.
Yeah.
My dad is going to be 83 in February. My mom is going to be 80 years old in April. They both still work. My dad actually works for me as my salesperson for 29 years, and my mom still does the aftercare for Medicare for the cancer policies, and it doesn't mean that they still play tennis, they still play bridge, they play pickleball. But if my dad didn't work, I don't know if he would even be alive today, because it gives him purpose and it keeps your brain young.
Yep.
You know,
I agree 100%.
That's just my philosophy. It might not work for everybody else, but it works for me, and I
don't
like it.
Dream of like retiring and just sitting on the beach all day. It's like, you know, like that doesn't sound fun to me. Like I don't like, I'm like, I always want to work, or if I'm older, I like, and my business keeps growing, I was like, all right, hopefully, you know, maybe my kids will want to take it over one day. I don't know. But if not, somebody will be in place, and maybe I still and I can maybe, you know, maybe I don't have to be there at 7 a.m. I can decide to come in at 9, work 3 days a week. You know, I still want to be involved and have some purpose of either helping somebody build or, you know, grow, because, I mean, yeah, this is what, at the end of the day, I mean, things are just things after a while, you know, if that's all you care about. It's like, then it's like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? If you just base it off of material things, you know what I mean, which I feel like a lot of people think they want, and then it's like, okay, well, once you get that, then you're just going to want the next nicest.
Well, that's okay too. But,
yeah, I'm all about things too, but I don't want that to be my main purpose. Is like providing jobs, you know, careers for people. That my goal is like to have my guys be able to work, you know, especially like manual labor job that we have, be able to just have to work one job, make enough that they can get a house, have a nice car, put some money back, and that's like literally in my like, you know, when I write down my goals for my business, is everybody be able to have a home, cars, you know, vacation, and, you know, like some retirement. And that's my goal for now, at least, you know, building my business. I want people to like have a good life, you know, and so that's partly my mission. And if I get successful, cool, you know, and hopefully so far so good. Okay, but that was a completely side note there. I wanted to get back to your mortgage. So like when did you start to see like it take off? Like when you're like, okay, hey, I'm on to something, you know what I mean? Like you're in it, you're learning about it, you've worked all the different positions, and which I think is really smart. I do the same thing in mine. Like you got to know all the different things so that when you're at the top, you can like estimate jobs, and you know what I mean? Like, you know, every little thing that they're going to run into, all the snags, and kind of how to fix it. So like what happens when you start realizing, hey, this is the thing, and I want to pursue this full on?
From the day I got in the business, I never looked back. It's the only career I've ever had. After 38 years, I still love it. So I was an operations manager for 2 of the largest builders before I went into really running my own show. And, you know, it was a nice salary. We were, you know, a new young couple that were married and had 2 kids. And in February of 96, I already had, you know, my children were, let's see, they were like 4 and 5 or something. They were born in 92, 93, so whatever that was. And I remember coming home and telling my parents and my husband, hey, guys, I'm going to start my own retail branch and not work for these builders anymore. And they thought I was crazy. Yeah. Back then, I was probably making $65,000 a year, which, you know, back was a lot. And my husband probably made the same. So we were by no means rich, but, you know, we had a nice house, and we both had cars, and we were able to send our kids to nice preschools. And my parents and my husband were like, are you crazy? You can't give up your salary, because I was going to take a 50% pay cut and be mostly commission. Yeah. But there was something that I just felt, because I knew so much about the business, that I just felt that I would be better suited. And I had a mentor. Sadly, he passed away about 5 years ago, but he found me, and I opened up Market Street Mortgage, and he taught me to buy my own building. So my first building I bought was on Trade Center Way. Okay. And the company that I worked for paid me the rent instead of us just leasing and paying a landlord the rent. So I was a landlord in a commercial building and running a retail branch, and it took off. I never looked back from that day, and that's what I did. So I started hiring people to process for me and to be sales managers and other loan officers. And I was still doing a lot of business. And I worked for that same company until the crash happened in 2007. Yeah. And as quickly as it rose, because you do have things that happen. Number one, I got divorced in that period. And, you know, anyway, it was great, but I had to pay alimony for many years. And I had my 2 kids to raise, and all of a sudden I'm a single mom, and the market crashed. So everything I had built my lifestyle to my earnings. Yeah. And all of a sudden your deferred comp is gone that you had saved for all those years. Stock market crashed. Housing market, I was in the middle of building 7 homes in Lee County. Builders walked away because everybody was failing. Banks left. So even though I had business, I couldn't fund the loans that I had.
Sure.
In any case, it was a real wake-up call. But I never looked and said, oh my God, woe is me. You changed your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Literally, I sold my big house. I had saved enough money that from those earnings, I was able to buy a condo that I was going to live in. That I could afford. And I thought, all right, that's fine. I'll go back to the basics. I'll close a few loans a month. And when that happened, I was closing around $65 million of business a year, which was a top producer back then. So I changed my life. I ended up having another child in 2009, and my business just started growing and growing and growing. And in the meantime, now I close over $150 million a year. I never expected that. That wasn't my goal. I'm not money motivated.
Yeah.
It happened because I never got off track. I was still going to do mortgages. I was just going to do less of them.
Yeah.
And I came from nothing, so it wasn't like I couldn't go backwards.
Yeah, that's I was going to ask you about the how 2008, or was it when the crash was 2007, 2008. I was going to ask you how that, but you already answered it. But it sounds like, but then you said 2009, you were kind of like, I was already rebuilt by then. You dealt with it, and you handled it, and you took care of business. I mean, I think that's business owners. Sometimes that's like can be some of the things that make you good is like knowing how to pivot when it's ups and downs, and how you deal with it.
What I see is a lot in my business, because when people tell me their stories, and they'll still tell me their stories from COVID, and it's always woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. I can't. Then you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Mindset means a lot. So never giving up, and keep going, and keep on your plan. Don't give up, because you can. I mean, you can either look at things with the half glass empty or half glass full.
Yeah.
So if you look at it with full and knowing you can, you're just in a certain kind of a rut, but it's going to get better. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you walk around Debbie Downer, nobody's going to want to be with you. Near you, you're going to lose friends, and nobody's going to want to hire you.
So true. Yeah, that's something that I've been like recently trying to just like take it. I know it sounds so cliche to say take it day by day, but like, sometimes like even if I use like the Christmas light season, how intense it gets, because you're really working like all year round, and then you like make your money in like October, November, and a little bit of December. It's like 2.5 months to make, like, I always use the joke, it's like tax season, but no extensions. Like, no, it's over at like Thanksgiving. I mean, there's a little bit, but, and so like it's really easy to start worrying about all the things in this account. And it's like, man, if I do that, like I find myself being half empty, it's like, I got to just say, hey, what can I accomplish today that's going to move me forward? And I worry about tomorrow, literally tomorrow. And I have a thing where what I started doing probably the last year and a half that's helped me. This may help someone else, I don't know, but like I go for a walk every night at like 9 o'clock just to my gate entrance, which is like about an 8-minute walk there and back. And I pray or whatever, but I really like just try to go and just like give God my day. Like, hey man, like I'm stressed about this and that. You take care of it. I cannot like worry and keep worrying about all this stuff. It's not solving any problems for me. So that is just kind of helps me, like just when I go in, I'm like, all right, on to tomorrow, go to sleep, relax, and try not to stress. But that's not always perfect, but
giving thanks and being thankful for what you do have. For me, I like to get up in the mornings, take the dogs out, and I pray in the mornings, but also giving back to your community.
Yeah.
Whether you have money, not money, that really doesn't matter, because people need time as well. They need to be listened to. So whether it's mentally, physically, monetarily, everybody needs help. So keep in your space, keep giving back to your community, and then things follow after as well.
Yeah, you're very generous. I've seen, and I'm just complimenting. Like I love that you do that. It's inspired me actually to try to be more involved. Because like I said, I come from a small town in Kansas. Like you move here, and like I'm just trying to build my business. And this year has been the first time I've really like said, okay, hey, like what I can't say yes to everything. I mean, I'm doing my best to give where I can and try to give, what I can afford. But I've really made a push. But honestly, like I'm not just saying that because you're on the show, but like, you're one person I was like, man, she's always like seems to be generous and like you always seem to have a good, a good attitude. And
Well, I
that's
tell
one of the
people,
reasons.
I grew up with this town and the town grew with me because I've been here for so long.
Yeah.
So that really makes a difference. So I'm so proud of Naples,
Yeah, I
like, and
love
where we
Naples.
are. And when people say, oh, we're growing too much, this is normal. I mean, who wouldn't want to live here? Because let's just say
Right.
you moved here how long ago?
4 years ago.
So should we say to you after that, okay, Cory's here, now
Yeah.
let's stop, no more growth?
No.
You can't. Is it 10 years ago? Is it 20 years ago?
Yeah.
That's just what happens. People own land. They're allowed to develop it. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the city or the county on a lot of things. If you own it and you're zoned for it, you can build it.
Yeah.
You know, builders buy land where they're allowed to build. So it is going to keep growing because who wouldn't want to be here?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's summers are hard, like for us in the service. I don't know if it's like that. The summers here, like seasonally, like affect mortgages much or not really. Don't
No.
go into landscape lighting.
July, we had actually our biggest month. Even during COVID, where it was so busy, this was busier this July. Listen, everybody needs a home. You need a home. You need a home. You need a home.
Yep.
Every UPS driver, school teacher, firemen, police officer, people who work at CVS, at Walmart, wherever you are, doctors, nurses, everybody. Nobody says, hey, Lauren, you know what? I just want to rent the rest of my life.
Yeah, I know.
So my job is to show them how they can own, whether it's not today, what state programs are out there, and that's my creativity part is where I help people buy homes so you don't have to rent.
Yeah, that's. I need to send my guys to you.
Yes,
That's
you
my-
do.
That's my goal is to help them get to that point, you know. And so, yeah, because for the season for us, it seems like you're doing everything right, and then like May hits, and then it's like you're like literally calling your web guy like, hey, like my phone number is like working correctly here. Like all of a sudden it's like it stops. And I don't know if this summer was different because I've talked to other people in other industries, and like, you know, we had Ian and we had COVID, and so like the last couple of years, because I got here in 21, like June of 21. So most people are like, hey, and you know, we had Ian, and we've had a couple little hurricanes and all
Big
that.
hurricanes.
But people have said like, you know, hey, it hasn't really been a normal summer because we've been like busier. And then this year, I felt like I was like the most prepared after, you know, every year you learn. I'm like, this year, I'm set, ready. And like some people are like, oh, it was just so slow. It's awesome living here. Like the streets aren't busy, you know. I mean, it's not good for restaurants, but it's good like for us that want to go to restaurants and not have to get a reservation and call 3 days ahead. So I love the summers living here, but it's not so good. Like I'm always kind of sad when I see the car, you know, what are they called? The cars when people are moving back up north, the transportation trucks. I'm always like, I'm glad things are going to slow down with traffic, but I'm not really excited to have half the population leave because I mean it's just for us people that call. So and then obviously nobody's calling in the summer for Christmas really. So it's kind of
That's the best time you actually should be sending your emails out to people. Do a mass blast because that's when I commit to
In the
my.
summer, yeah.
I think I committed in July.
Yeah.
And you know, I got email.
Sure.
Get ready. And so I'm like, all right, fine. I'm just going to
You're
get
ready,
ready.
yeah.
So actually, in the summertime is for what
best
you
time.
should be planning for.
Yeah, and that's what we do. But it's like with residential, it's hard with Naples with Christmas lights because it's a lot of people's second homes. So sometimes it's not that they're firing you or not using. It's just like we're not going to be there this summer, this Christmas. So you always have a lot of those people, and they're like in limbo because they don't know in July, like, oh, we don't know what our plans are, and so sometimes it makes it.
We have enough people that are here, Cory. That's the half glass empty
There-
and
yeah, I
half
know.
glass
There we
full.
go.
So no.
I needed
And I can
you on
tell
here
you
today to
that
tell me
because
that.
there are so many people. Remember all the families we have? What do we have? 16 high schools. So
Yeah.
no, I don't buy that one.
I needed
okay?
that. I needed that. Yeah, I needed that. That's probably true. It's like sometimes, you know, maybe just a different strategy. You know, maybe okay, what I haven't done isn't working, or I could be better. Like there's a part of me that could say, yeah, if I'm being honest, I could be a little bit. I don't want to say lazy, but it's like, oh, you know what, I'll call them tomorrow, or just maybe an email's fine instead of like picking up the phone. Sometimes I'm just saying, hey Lauren, da 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 da. You know,
Yeah,
like,
if you
hey,
had called me, I would have booked with you before
yeah,
I
I
booked
just
somewhere
found out.
else.
I was in Lauren's neighborhood doing landscaping, and she's like, "I didn't know you did Christmas lights." So that's my fault. I should have reached out. But no. So okay. So what do you love? What do you love most about mortgages? I mean, like, what's your favorite thing about what you do? Like, what is it that you said? You know, you're not money geared or whatever. It's like, what is it that you love about?
I love
mortgages?
helping people. So people, once they know me, they know what I do. But before that, they think that I only help like people with $1 million houses
Yeah.
and high end. And that's the exact opposite. I love helping our veterans. I love helping people with low credit and teaching them how to get their credit score up so they can buy a house. I like taking somebody who has no money at all, doesn't think they could ever be a homeowner, and helping them buy a house. So the joy on their faces, on my phone calls, on my emails, I get countless emails, whether it's on social media, whether it's a phone call, a text, and literally you make people's dreams come true because, like I said, everybody wants to own a home.
Yeah.
So that is my excitement. I love helping people who don't think they can get a mortgage. And that's just, there's nothing else better than that for me.
What would you say, what's your recommendation? So somebody that's out there that's listening that like, thinks they probably don't stand a chance, or like, like I'll use one of my employees, for example, they're legal. They've been citizens for 2-3 years, but I think they just think they could never get a house. You know what I mean?
They need to call me because that's what I do. Not only do I give people hope, because there are people they've never been taught credit.
Yeah.
So their credit might be in the 400s. They've never been taught what's important. I won't just forget about them. Okay. I'll give them a plan. I have people say, oh, I only have $1,000 in the bank. There's no way I could buy a house. I have state funds. I help people with that.
Okay.
So there's all kinds of creative ways, especially when you pay your rent on time. And if you're already paying the rent, then you can afford a house.
Yeah, like if you're showing a track record, like, hey, we pay this payment, you can, because a lot of times, I don't know housing, I'm not a real estate agent, but what some of these guys are paying for their apartments.
Yeah.
$2,200 a month or whatever. I gotta think a 3-bedroom. It's not gonna be by
What
the
do
beach.
you mean? We're gonna go buy a duplex right here. We're gonna start teaching them. I'm gonna teach you how to buy 5 homes in 5 years. So then it might not need you though in 5 years when they're financially have freedom.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have like a program, right? That you do, and it's 5 homes in 5 years. What's that like? Tell me about that. Like, how does that work?
Well, that's a whole program. I can't tell you on this show, but you call me. It works best if you don't own anything yet, and I'm going to help you from the beginning. Okay. But even if not, I can still catch you up. Yeah.
So what do you say to someone that's I think I had messaged you, and like a lot of times people will buy like a 4-plex or something like that, and then they'll live in one. But what if you're like, I don't want to go that route? Like, what is that? What's the best investment? Is it still a better, like if I want to stay where I'm at and I want to invest in either multi or I want to go single family, like what's a smarter strategy in your opinion?
Well, you already have a single family and you own it. So you wouldn't be able to do the least amount down. So you can do a multifamily, but you'd have to do 15 to 20% down. If you want to turn your current home into an investment and buy another primary home that you're going to move into, then you could do it at 5% down.
Gotcha.
Okay, so everybody's circumstances are different. So what might be right for you isn't going to be right for maybe one of your employees or to somebody else listening on the show. So I would help you with your financial package, what's right for you.
Right.
Not for Cory.
Gotcha.
What could be right for Joe.
Not just
or
a
Lisa.
cookie cutter thing. It's like every scenario is different depending on one single.
Just like when somebody calls me and say, hey, can you just tell me your rate today? Well, that doesn't really mean anything because I don't know your credit score, your down payment, if you're buying a single family, a condo, if you're going to live in it, if it's going to be a second home and investment. There are so many things. If you actually claim income on your taxes or you need a bank statement loan. So again, there's something for everybody. And I mean everybody, if you pick up the phone and call and want to learn.
Yeah. So you also have a branch in Georgia now, right? Or is that, so you can sell mortgages all over the country, but you have like another office in Georgia now?
Yeah, I can do a mortgage for anybody who wants to buy anywhere. But yes, I have 5 employees in Georgia now. And so we have an office in Greensboro, Georgia. And that covers Greene County, Putnam County, Monroe County, Madison County, but anywhere in Georgia. But yeah, it's really exciting. I spend my summers up there, so I work remote here. Actually, Collier County was the busiest. Like I said, it's been this July. But I was growing my business there too, going to a lot of real estate events. I'm going to the RPAC, which is a political association for realtors. I'll be up in Georgia in September as well with my team. And I love it. So it makes me super happy. And, like I said, I like to finance the world one loan at a time. And I still love it today, just like I did in 1987.
That's awesome. I love that. That gives me hope that, it's... I love what I do too. Like I just do. It's like I just can't see myself not doing it. But some days I might be balling in my truck during Christmas light season, stressed out. But
no,
the
can't do that.
The summers make it up. But Georgia, like I just told you before, I was like I kind of want to get a second home up there, like on a lake or whatever, and have like a summer home or lake home and be able to jump up there, when we can. So let's just use me as an example. So like if I have a single family, I mean, I know you don't know my credit score and all that stuff, but I mean, it's possible in your opinion then to possibly use my house, or is it just a flat like, hey Cory, if you're going to do a second home, and it's like,
we could see how much equity you have in your current house and see if you can use that to put your percentage down so that, you can get a better rate. At 20% down is going to be a better rate. If you don't have that much down, it might be different. But again, every circumstance is different. But everything is possible. But you have to try.
Yeah, well, my goal is to do it. Like I want to wait till January when Christmas time season's over, and I actually know what my financials are.
Actually, if you went up there, you could probably be doing your business up there. There's only I think in the town that I'm in, there's only one company that does it. So you could be decorating inside and outside if you start your business up there, and then you'd have 2 modules.
Yeah. You have a you're on a lake up there though, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So is that your favorite? Like, what made you choose that lake over any others? Because I'm seriously looking. Like, I've looked at so many lakes up there. Why it?
So between my husband and I, we have 6 children, and we used to take them away every year. And when you go, like whether it's Turks and Caicos or the Atlantis, when you travel and you're used to living in Naples, it's a fortune to go away for that week. And the service was getting worse and worse, and it was costing more and more. And I'm like, why are we leaving Naples? Like, we have everything here. Yeah. He said, we should get a second home. Let's go, onto a lake. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing a lake, Dan. I'm not going to live in a cabin. I need my Publix. I like my hair appointments. And he came home with a magazine one day from getting his hair cut. It was a golf magazine, and it said, Reynolds, Ritz-Carlton on the lake. Homes for sale. And I'm like, okay. Well, if there's a Ritz-Carlton, I know there's going to be everything else. So I called, and we flew up there in 2018, and we ended up building our first home up there. It was done in February of 2020, which was just the start of COVID. Yeah. So we actually spent so much time up there because everything was closed anyway from schools, and you couldn't open. So we fell in love with it. At one point, we actually did a lot of Airbnbs and VRBOs. At one point, we owned 4 properties up there.
Oh, wow.
Now we sold, and we only own our main house that we live up there, and then we own a commercial piece of land that probably within the next 2 years I'll develop.
Oh, cool.
And but we just love it. It is a mini Naples. It was probably what Naples was 30 years ago.
Okay.
They are growing. But so there's a Longhorn, there is a racetrack, Home Depot. So they're building things more. And the Publix is right around the corner, movie theater, Dairy Queen, all of that. Lots of hair places. Anyway, it's a growing area. I love it. It's still peaceful. Now, that being said, I was up there from June 3rd until August 1st. And at that point, I was ready to come back to Naples.
Yeah.
It is more casual. And, I still like to dress up and be fancy.
Yeah.
This is the fanciest thing probably up there that I would ever have to wear, which is my casual day today.
Sure.
So I was ready to come back. To me, there is no place like Naples. Yeah. And I will put Naples against anything, any place in the whole world. I still love it and appreciate it every day. So although I do love going up there, I don't know if I'd want to be there full time. And I know there's people that go there full time, and that's great. But I would like to go there at some point 4 months a year when my daughter's off in college. I'd like to be there, June, July, August, September, or May, June, July, August. But there's nothing like Naples.
Is it a little bit cooler up there, do you feel like, during the summer?
10 degrees maybe.
But not significant.
Not significant. Not as humid. So even when it's super hot, I don't go out there. My sunglasses and my eyeglasses don't get fogged up here. Like as soon as I walked out this morning, it fogged up. Yep. So they don't get that way there. But it's not like it's the mountains. I'm not on the mountains. Yeah. I am on the lake. So I love being in the lake. Yeah. Lake living is it's great for the kids. So at one point this summer for a week, July 4th, we had 17 of us up there. All our kids, their husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, best friends. Pat and Lisa were there with us for the whole time with all of our kids and grandbabies. It was great.
That's so cool.
So there's nothing
exactly
like that.
What I want. Like that's my that's my plan too.
Yeah.
Just a place. And I mean for us, it's like okay, RSW is 20 minutes. Like literally, you can fly right into Atlanta.
And you're only an hour and a half
like,
away.
It's like, yeah, you got to pay. Like, it's kind of weird to say I got to fly to my lake house, but it's like, dude, it's way cheap. It would be more expensive to drive.
Well,
honestly.
actually, my husband loves to drive, so he always drives.
Oh,
It's
wow.
8 hours and 20 minutes
That's
for
just his
him.
thing.
He loves driving. Plus, then we have an extra car up there. We leave one up there, but then he
Sure.
drives a car because we do have a lot of people come in and out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Is I would just like, yeah. have
I fly,
everything there.
he drives.
Yeah, I would fly. I think. Yeah, I don't know, man. When you drive from Kansas to Florida for like when we moved down here, that wrecked me. It was like 22 hours, and like, man, you go from like small town Kansas to like 6 lanes in Atlanta. You're like, what is going on? Like, it was like shell shocking. I mean, seriously, like when we moved here, we had a little gym. We owned a little CrossFit gym. We did that for 12 years. I did Christmas lights like on the side and had like a little business. I mean, little. And when we sold our gym and made just a little bit of money, and we moved to Naples, like had never been here, like never even like been in like the city limits of like the furthest we'd been is we visited Venice, and we kept like, we thought that was kind of small, similar to what we were at. We're like, oh, we'll like it. It's close to the beach. And like, I don't know, every time we tried to get a house, something would just kept falling through. And I just felt like God was like, just kept shutting door after door after door. I mean, like the craziest stuff wasn't like a credit thing or anything. It was just like, oh, this fell through, this lender, that, like whatever, you know, wouldn't
Yeah,
because
you didn't know me, Cory.
I didn't. But what was really weird was like when we went to Venice, me and my wife, we took a trip. We ran into a couple outside of like a public bathroom or something. I don't know. We started talking or whatever. And through conversation, they were like telling us about, I said something about Christmas. I was like, oh, there's this company, I don't want to say them because they're one of my competitors, but this company that's been there forever or whatever. It's Trimmers. I really don't care. They're good. Trimmers, and they're this big company. I was like, I just didn't think much of it. And then I started researching. I'm like, man, this is a big company. Like, if this is big, like, it's got to be. And like, you know, long story short, the rest is history. We like
Naples, you were brought to Naples. It's an amazing place.
We rolled in like the hillbillies, man, and just like, we're like, wow, Naples is actually really nice. And like, even when my friends would visit, like right after in 2021, there'd be like it was like Naples is just completely normal. Like, you'd see people with masks, you'd see some not, everything just
What's
was
a mask?
operating. You know what I mean? But
We never changed our life. I mean,
what's what
we
I'm
were
saying.
never going to conform to that.
He came down. He's like, man, he's like, there's the world and then Naples. He's like, everybody here just is like minding their business, doing their thing. There's no like, life's just going on like it was before COVID. And I'm like, yeah, it is. He's like, that's literally what he said. He's like, there's the world and then there's like Naples.
We live in
Just
La La Land. That's what I'm saying. Who doesn't love it?
It's amazing. But yeah, that's my futuristic goal. So I'm definitely going to talk to you about going to Georgia. But okay, so what is the hardest thing about mortgage? What's like, you know, we talked about like what you love, like what's the most frustrating, difficult thing that you face? Is it just like rules and things that change that has nothing to do with you, or is it just you're not fazed by it, you just adapt and move on? It seems like that's kind of what you're gonna say.
I mean, I don't think there's anything hard about it. For other people, you know, looking to get into the field, who are in the field and they find it frustrating and hard, just means they haven't found the right fit. When you're with the right company, I've been with my company now since 2018. I've been with about 4 or 5 companies in 38 years. But I've been with this company since the summer of 2018, and my owner, I want to go back. I don't own CrossCountry Mortgage. I run the Maxwell Mortgage team. I'm a boutique lender who happens to work for the largest retail and non-QM lender in the country. And we have one owner. We do about $50 billion a year in business, and we have over 9,000 employees. I just say I am a boutique because I'm able to, all of the managers run their own platforms, and we're just powered by CrossCountry, and we're owned by one owner. He is going to be 51 years old this month. He was an entrepreneur, just like I was. And the managers like myself and the other top producers in the company are his people. They're his customers, as where the realtors and you are, and the builders are my customers. We're his customers. So he treats us and brings on the best IT, the best programs, by far, bar none, of anybody in the country. And that's why I think that we're number one, because his philosophy, he doesn't sit behind a closed door and saying, oh, look at me, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have to work anymore. He's involved. He works on his birthday. I can reach him on Christmas Day. I could text him right now and he's going to text me right back. With 9,000 employees, that's pretty impressive.
awesome.
So his mindset is the same as my mindset as service, customer service, customer service. We're his customers. And that's why I feel that we're better. We can do more, and we became the biggest over the last 7 years. Of course, I tell him I was his lucky charm because I was his first major producer as a woman. And
Yeah.
now we have probably 150 top women in the country who work for us. But anyway, but that's what I do. And so if you don't feel that and you think mortgages are hard, you're just with the wrong place. And you should call me.
You should call you. So I know you may have said this earlier, but like where do you rank? I'm pretty sure you're like up there in the country as like one of the top producers.
Yeah. So I'm the number 54 person in the country.
That's crazy.
And I'm always in that, I'm the number 1 woman with our company, and I'm in the top 10 of our company as well. And we have thousands of loan officers, and the top people in the country work for us.
That's great.
So yeah, I feel really proud of that. In every
Sure.
in every single field, in where it's called Scotsman Guy, whether it's top FHA, top purchase, top volume, yeah, I'm in that top 1% by far.
That's amazing. That's
So
amazing.
my little pet peeve, if you want to know, I see people interview other loan officers, or I see other companies saying, "Oh, here's our top producers, and we have President's Club," and I look up their numbers, and they've closed like 25 loans in a year. Like I have a thing like
Oh, yeah.
that's,
I hate
that's
that.
great for them, but that's not a top person. So,
Yeah.
that's my little pet peeve. That's the hardest thing that I deal with, because I just sit back and watch going, okay, great. We do that in a week.
Yeah.
But anyway, so.
Not bragging, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like that's like, it's like kind of like they're putting out false information.
Or I just saw a podcast. There was a realtor in Lee County, and they had another mortgage person on it. I'm like, why haven't they invited me on? And I look, and that, like I said, that person, if they're going to close 30 loans for the whole year, that's going to be a lot. But they have them on, and so that's perception. So just because they're on somewhere, I always tell people when I'm competing, just look at my numbers and look at somebody else. If you're going to put the largest purchase transaction of your life, it's your largest financial purchase that you'll ever make is buying a home.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be with an online company or somebody who does 10 or 20 loans a year? Or do you want to have somebody who's there protecting you, making sure you don't lose your money, getting you to closing with as little ease as possible? Wouldn't you want that experience?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's how I feel.
I feel the same way. Yeah, I like to almost always, like even like marketing and stuff. Like I don't want to use. We get calls all the time for, I'm sure you do too. But like I want to lose like local people and like people that I can get in touch with, or like go sit in their office or whatever and ask questions or whatever. I feel like I have the same philosophy, but. Okay, so I'm going to try to land this ship. I always have a little segment. It's called The Brighter Side, all right? There's no wrong answers to this question, and it's I'm making that sound bad. So the question is, where did I put it? Oh, yeah. So when life gets heavy, what brings Lauren back to the brighter side?
God, prayer, and my husband.
Yeah,
He's
all good
very,
things.
very somebody you can talk to, and he's going to give you sound advice without just talking. He's a listener, so after you're finished and you talk about your issues, he's going to answer you intellectually. And
Yeah.
and he's very good at being emotionally stable. So between God, prayer, and Dan,
Yeah,
that's
I was
what
gonna
I
say
go
I've just met him like in passing, dude. He just seems exactly like that. He's very like relaxed. He doesn't seem like he probably gets too emotional. It just seems very. Your personality seems a lot like probably mine. That's how my wife is too. She's kind of one that like levels me down because I'm kind of crazy. So those are good answers. Those are good. Okay, so the second question is, what are you working on right now, personally, spiritually, or professionally, that excites or challenges you?
everything. Every day I work on that, because whenever somebody says, "Oh, I have it and I've done it and I don't need to better myself," every day I have prayer in the morning and say, "Hey, make me a better person, have me be more patient."
Sure.
Whatever it is that I feel that I failed on the day before.
Yeah, me too.
And professionally, I'm always growing, so I'm always hiring. I just said to my husband this morning, "Hey, I've hired like 6 new people this year. I'd like to be able to get to 10 if they're quality people and can do at least 12 to 15 million a year." I just said that before we left
Yeah.
my closet. And he's like, "Don't you ever get tired?" I go, "No." So anyway, I guess that's my goal. I just want to keep growing and helping people and teaching.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. I know you were busy. I think you were mentioning in the other podcast, I was like, man, they might have been just intimidated to message you or reach out because I know you're busy. I know you got a million things going on. So thank you for taking the time to come on. And I know we haven't like met like officially, but now we have, and I knew we had some things in common, so it was good to make those connections. And I know for sure that we'll be working together because, like I said, I got some stuff I want to do personally, and I am just a small town guy, small town roots. I like loyalty and want to be, work with people, in my town and
For
support my
sure.
community. So thank you so much for being on the brighter side today. And that is a wrap today for today's video, guys. You can hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, give us a comment. If you have any questions, I'll link all of Lauren's information down in the show notes. If you want the best mortgage, and you guys heard it, like she's the best. She's going to point you in the right direction. She's got something for everybody. So go check her out, give her some love, and we'll see you guys on the next one.